Good morning, heroes. Welcome back. All right, let's see here. Kaboom. Take all this off. Don't need it. Hide. Do I have a summon yet? Oh, we start off with one. That's nice. Okay. Let's see. First things first. Let's quickly get this done. And we wanted this one from last time. These summons can go down there. That can go right there. You slide over here. We picked Orc, just FYI, because they get increased damage with pets. So as long as we have summons, they just get increased damage because we're an Orc. We'll put that like over there. That's fine. All right, let's quickly go through and grab all of our stuff. Grab you. Grab you. And we know we need spellcasting gear. So it's going to be the Dread Mist stuff. We scroll down to the bottom. We're going to grab you. Scroll up one. I don't think I'm missing anything. Just about. There we go. There we are. Then we want to go wardrobe because we need something that looks more... that's not what I wanted to do. Cosmetics. Like that. Apply. That's what I meant to do. We want something that just screams Necromancer. Like, we've got this, right? We were using this yesterday. Or we've got this from the Necromancer. I like this better. This looks way better. What is this? Oh, that's... okay. Yeah, I like that better. And then we're going to go over here. And we will grab... a staff? Sure. There we go. And I don't have a back piece that fits, which kind of sucks, but that's fine. Okay. There we go. Everything's ready to rock and roll. Then scroll down here. We're going to grab our book. And that's really the only thing we need is the book, because I've got it set to where it can pick up loot for us. So now it's just run through and get as much done as fast as possible. Basically what I've been doing, because I want to figure out what I want to main on here, and it's been so long and a lot of stuff has changed, is I just want to go through and figure out what class it is that we want to play. So I'm starting with all of the spellcasters, because I want to stick to spellcasting this go through. So that's where I'm at right now. Yeah, finally struck it. Good. We've already done the Pyromancer, the Stormbringer. We did a Blood Mage, because we were asked to do the Blood Mage, day before yesterday, so we did the Blood Mage yesterday. Honestly, the Blood Mage is okay, but it doesn't feel as strong as quickly as, say, the Pyromancer or even the Stormbringer. Stormbringer, man, it hit 11 and it just skyrocketed in damage. It was crazy. But before that, it was still very powerful. So Stormbringer might be the way we go. So far, it is my #1 pick. But we will see. We're gonna try out the Necromancer here. Okay. I had asked Devin yesterday if he was going to be able to get on, so that we could do some stuff today. If he was going to be able to get on, though he's got stuff doing, or stuff to do, if I could English. I had asked him if he was going to be able to get on, because the game plan, if he was, is we were going to try and duel, or run 2 Rune Masters, because he was going to do a melee, I was going to do the Spellcaster. And it was kind of a twofold thing for me, is because when I originally did the Rune Master, I only got it up to like level 20 or 30, if I remember correctly. And I only did that so I could do the build video. Or not the build video, do the tier list. And I had understood, like, the way I was doing the tier lists, and I can't pull it up because we're not high enough, but I would start on the right and then go to the left and then go there. Well, with the Rune Master, for whatever reason, I started the other way, and then I was like, oh wait, I know I did this one, but I have to start over here. And then I think I completely skipped the Spellcaster one, because I got called out on it a couple times in that video, that I did not put Rune Master in as a ranged option. So that was what I was going to do, is he was going to run melee, let me know how that felt, and I was going to run Spellcaster so I could let y'all know how I felt on that one. But unfortunately, it does not appear that we will do that today. So, we're doing the Necromancer today, just because I think that would be a good option. Now, if you guys have a spec or a class that you guys want us to try, let me know in the comments. Let me know in chat. I am not opposed to trying any of the classes regardless. I'm trying to stick to spellcasters, so do bear that in mind. But yeah, if there's a class you want to see me run, all you got to do is let me know. I am not afraid to do it. We will just basically do it out of cycle. Because like right now, after the first ones that we did, I decided to go back and we're just going to start on the top left and work our way all the way across, doing all of the spellcasters that we can find. The preferred goal is to get somewhere between 12 and 15, because that's kind of roundabout where you're really going to get that that real feel. Now that it's warmer in here, I can take this off. Between 12 and 15 is where you're going to really start to see how the class unfolds. And that's why it's not what I wanted at all. Stop. All of you. There we go. It's where the class really starts to unfold for us. And so, yeah, we really want to get to that point in each stream. And then that way we can be like, okay, I feel like leveling this to 60. Or I feel like, you know, this class is not going to do well for us. Because unfortunately, at the end of the day, guys, it's based on how you feel on a character. Doesn't matter if it's the greatest meta class. If you don't like how it plays, you're never going to play it well. I'm looking for the class that feels good to me. And that's why I'm trying to run as quickly as possible through all these to get them to level 12 through 15, somewhere in that ballpark. Because, again, that just really lets me know how I will feel playing them. The Pyromancer, I'm going to have to go back and switch him over to Incinerate and see how well that plays. I like the Pyromancer. My problem is they've changed it so dramatically since the last time we played. I just don't feel like it's all there anymore, which is a bummer because the Pyromancer was really good when I was doing the build videos for it. Okay, now we've got the peons that we got to go smack and apples and all that fun stuff. Okie dokie. Okay. We needed to sell stuff so because we've already leveled up to 3. There's 4. But Rhyme is doing enough damage right now that I'm not too worried about it. There's all the apples that we need. Next time we go into town to turn all this in, we will sell everything that we can and level up as best as we can. But so far, Rhyme seems to be doing a solid amount of damage for us. Now, primarily that's because we do have our little minion here who's doing some decent damage for us. But Rhyme also slows. So even though it's only doing 25 a hit, that 25 a hit is enough with our minion helping doing damage to take these guys out. Ooh, there was a 50. There's all those that we need, so we just need the last peon here, and then we need all of the Grelkin, or these ones are called Vile Familiars, but they're essentially just Grelkin. Yeah. We're doing good enough at this level that... Oh, hey, stop running up the tree area there. I do know with the Necromancer, there are 3 primary builds that we can do with the Necro. There's the Summoner, there is the Cold or Rhyme build, and then there is the Death Magics, which is your dot damage, or at least it used to be dot damage. And I've been calling this skill that we're throwing Rhyme. It's actually called Lich Frost. Okay, there's all those. So now we're going to go run back to town. We're going to turn all those in. And on the way, we're going to pick up a couple World Forged items, just so that we have some extra loot to sell. quest? Your quest. Dun, 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 dun. This feels like a demonic monk set. I just the way that the armbands have these like pieces that stick out. Um, it gives me that monk feel, so to speak. So. All right, there's that. Three, 13. Okay, sell all this. 15 silver, nice. Talk to Mr. Book. Okay, that's interesting. You click on it on the map and all of the quest markers go away, but... Okay. Now we've got a couple more quests. We just got to go do these, turn those in, and then we can go do this area here. And look at that. Already level 5. We're already moving faster on... This is why I keep trying to tell y'all. The Horde, for whatever reason, levels faster than the Alliance. When we were solo doing... Like, I get when you play with another person, the XP rate drops from 100% down to, like... it's like 80%, I think, XP, because of the XP share nonsense. But, like... You level faster by yourself. And then... Devin and I were playing yesterday, and we got to level, I don't know, 10 after getting to Brill and doing several quests there. Oh, it's a channel ability, my bad. So this is a channeled ability that just does continual damage. This is a skill to where we can tell our guy, go fight that. But Crypt Swarm, channel a swarm of locusts at an enemy, dealing 10 plague damage and generating 5 runic power, repeating every 0.75 seconds for 3 seconds. Honestly, I don't like that because we get enough runic power as is. Runic power is what's used to tell your minions to go do stuff. So, like, when I go tell him to do that, our runic power goes down, right? Yeah, I feel like Crypt Swarm just doesn't do enough damage. those quests are now done. Now we get to go back to town, which will get us to level 6. Let's see. We also have, I just realized we have these. We have protect for our minions, or we have damage. Since we're by ourselves, we're going to be running in protect mode. So they now draw more aggro from us, which is great. So now we have our own personal tank. Eventually, we'll be able to get even more. Alliance has a lot of traveling quests. Yeah, unfortunately, David, they do. That's why I am a firm believer that the Horde will always outlevel the Alliance. All day long. I wish I had someone that was able to play with me at the same time. Because I would love to do a challenge where one person gets to play the Horde, one person gets to play the Alliance. You can pick any race, any class you want. And the goal is to reach like level 15 and see who can do it the fastest. Now, whether that is using account bound stuff or getting a scroll of the aura of experience, that kind of stuff, it would have to be, I think at most I would say yes, use heirloom gear, because that's easy to get. If you already have a level 60 and you want to use your runes of ascension, you can buy heirloom gear relatively quickly. But even without heirloom gear, I still think the Horde would take the win on how fast you level. It's just that's how it is, unfortunately. The the Alliance got, I think, better passives for their races. I think the Horde got better questing. Now we just got all the new stuff. By the way, there is a World Forged item you can get. In case you guys don't know this, you can duel this person. And there's a real easy way to do it. Just come stand over here. Click on her. Hello? Come stand over here. And then when she comes to try and charge you, those guys will be like, what? And they will help you. So if you have a class that isn't able to solo duel this lady... Okay, stop. Stop. Thanks. Let's see. I don't actually need that on my bar, I don't think. But that gives you a little 17 armor leather vest. It doesn't really have much to it. Okay. So let's see. We did get skeletal archers. I'm not going to use them for now. Actually, that would go down here. But we also got fetid shield. This is going to be a 30-minute buff. So for 30 minutes, increases our armor contribution by items, or from items by 100%, reduces all damage by 3%. Tiki Mask 1 destroyed. Tiki Mask 2. Come over here and get number 3. There we go. Then we can turn this one in. Da, 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 da. So far, we're actually cruising through this. I'll be honest, I thought the Necromancer was going to have a little bit of difficulty with this. Only because the last time I played Necromancer, they did struggle early game. Your skeletons would die a little bit too often. But it seems that... oh, I don't know who they just took out. There we go. But yeah, your skeletons would go down too fast. Your spells didn't hit very hard early on. It was a lot going on, unfortunately, for the Necromancer at the time. But it seems like they've buffed him up enough to where he's pretty viable early on. How many snakes do we got to take out for this one quest? Okay, we're level 7. Dang. I've never had to take out this many snakes before. I usually get it on the 3rd or 4th. There we go, finally. Only had to obliterate basically... oh, wait, no. Oh, yeah, we've got it. It just has the stupid mark above their head still, for whatever reason. Now we need bats and spiders. Hopefully those come out a lot faster. Okay, we got the bat essence. Whee! Well, who are you fighting? Alright. Fine by me. Oh. There we go. Now we just need the spiders, and we're done. Now, one thing that we will do before we go to Sinjin Village is we are going to run up to Razor Hill. There are 2 quests we're going to pick up there. Carry your weight. There we go. We're done. Carry your weight and break a few eggs, I think is the name of the quest. Because both of those we can do while we're in Sinjin Village. It just helps us get stuff done a little faster and level up a little faster as well. I wish there were a couple other quests that we could do while we were up there. But there's nothing else to really pick up that benefits us in a way to level faster, unfortunately. There's no other quests that require us to be in that southern area. Carry your weight requires us to get some fabric. The fabric you can pick up while doing the centaurs, and break a few eggs requires you to literally break a few eggs from the raptors that are in the little island jungle areas. So that's why we want to run up to Razor Hill. That also allows us to get our mount since we're level 6, so that we can move around a little bit faster. So it's a good idea. If the cart's there, take the cart up to Razor Hill. If it's not, just run. It's not really that far out of your way. I believe they're all 1-8. Yeah. Jump. Weirdest part of this whole quest. Now, technically, it's not that weird. If you read the quest lines and go, hey, like if you actually go through and read what's going on, is you go in there because they're using the spirits to shackle the elements. And so you got to take out one of all of the ghosts or spirits, and then you also have to take out the serpent, which is the one basically controlling all of it. It's weird. You just have to go read the quest lines for why you're doing all that. Just to kind of cover tomorrow's stream for you guys. We open tomorrow at work, so the stream will end up being tomorrow evening between 7 and probably like 10-ish. So, yeah. Sinister Ritual, thank you. And Innocent is okay. So we got to take out 5 voodoo devotees, and then we got to go take out a witch. And then we are good to book it out of here. We're level 7, almost level 8. Look at that. We haven't even left the starter zone, and we're level 8. We didn't do that with the Stormbringer, if I remember correctly. He was an ally. And we didn't do it with the Pyromancer, definitely, because I remember... Well, no, we did with the Pyromancer because we used our traveling permit to go somewhere else with the Pyro. Once we hit level 8, because we had just finished the starter area with him, and we were like, okay, now we're going to do the travel permit and go to the next starter zone. Now, I will say, as far as if you're going to use the travel permit, because let's say you don't have access to heirloom gear, but for whatever reason you do have the travel permit, I highly recommend if you're going to start on the Horde, it's the worst starting spot to do, But you can go do Red Cloud Mesa. It's the Tarins starting spot. You go there, you do those, and then you use the travel permit to come to here. And then by the time you finish this, you just run up to the Zeppelin and go over to Undercity, and then run over to the starting zone for the Undead. That would be my best advice if you do not have heirloom gear and you're wanting to get all 3 zones done, because it's the fastest way to level that way. That is what I would recommend. It says these guys are hostile, but I got right on top of the guy and he did not aggro on me. But it's alright. Now, we may have to respawn our skeleton a couple times for this. Well, he's still alive. I wish we had a way to heal him. There we go. Witch done. And our skeleton actually survived. Barely, but he survived. Okay. Then there are 2 world forged items that you can get up here. There was that mace we just picked up and this shield. Okay, good. And now we get to go turn all this in, which will get us to level 8. Whee! Now, we're not going to use the travel permit on this guy just because there's really no point. Because we have the heirloom gear, we're leveling fast enough that it's okay. But yeah, if I had no heirloom gear, if I did not have access to the heirloom gear, and I wanted to get as much XP as quickly as possible, what I would have done is I would have started over here in Red Cloud Mesa if the class I'm playing has access to it. And then from there, once I complete that and I get over here to Bloodhoof Village, I would then use the travel permit if I have it, or I would simply run if I don't, to come all the way over here to the Valley of Trials, do all of the questing here in the Valley of Trials. And then if I'm still not level 8 to 10 by that point, that is where I would run up to Orgrimmar, and I would, run over to Orgrimmar. You don't actually go in Orgrimmar. Go to the Zeppelins, go over to the Undead zone, run over to their starting zone, and do all those quests. If you're above level 16, you cannot do the starter zones because you're considered too high level, and it won't let you do it, even with the level scaling turned on. But since we're not going to be doing that, what we're actually going to do is we're going to run up here to Razor Hill because we've got a turn in here that we need to do. We've got the inn that we need to do. We need to pick up carry your weight, and we need to pick up break a few eggs. Those are the only 2 quests that we need to pick up there. We're also going to get our mount. Then from there, hopefully the cart is up here so we can just take it to come back because it is going to be faster. If it isn't, then what we do is we run all the way back down here and we start doing all of Sinjin Village. That is the fastest way to do those. Because here's the thing, like, carry your weight will take you over here as well, but break a few eggs will always bring you down here. And so I would rather break a few eggs while we're down there anyway, so that we don't have to turn around and run. So it doesn't look like the cart is here. Oh, it is here. Haha! We got lucky. So now we can take the cart up to Razor Hill. It'll be the fastest way to get there. Looks like at least 2 people could sit in this cart, technically. Looks like one here, one here. But I'll bet you it's like they just stack people on top of each other, like your little icons, your avatars. But I love the fact that these carts have been added so that you can move around a little bit faster when you don't have a mount. These things, I think, go at about 60% movement speed. So they're still faster than your first level mount that we're about to get. Boop. So we go run over here. We're going to go talk to you. Mount up. The mount that I want to use is this guy. Because I just like how it summons. Plus, he looks really cool. Okay. Then we're going to run up here. There's a guy up here that we got to talk to real quick. Then we're going to run up over there. And then on our way out of town, we're going to grab the Break a Few Eggs quest. Talk to you. Let's see. 171717. It doesn't matter. Then the other quests that he has, we'll pick that up later, but he also gives out quests for the new dungeon. I still don't think we're going to be able to do much of the dungeons, so to speak, simply because server's kind of dead, unfortunately. So that's the other reason why I'm testing out these builds, is because I want to see which one I will feel comfortable with trying to level all the way to 60 by doing quests. Because that's probably what we're going to end up having to do. I know I said I was going to do this outside of town, but I forgot. I have to run out of town to run up to the guy that gives us that quest. But yeah, so the way things are right now with this server, because everybody went to Bronzebeard, is there's not really a whole lot of people here, and the ones that are, as you can see, are doing well. You can't because I've blocked chat with my body, but they're looking for like Mythic Plus content. They're looking for raids, and so for us to be able to do that, we're gonna have to figure out what we want to level it, get it geared, and sadly, the only way we're going to be able to get it geared is by doing daily quests. Unless we happen to get on during a day or a time frame where there's enough people doing mana storms, or there's enough people doing dungeons, something of that nature. That is one of the reasons why I'm really hoping that I can get Devin back into this. So the cart is here. Yay! Now we get to take the cart all the way back down. So as you can see, like I was saying, Break a Few Eggs is down here on these islands. There's nowhere else that it shows you can do that quest. I think Canvas Wait. Normally I would come here to do it, but when I found out that the Centaurs actually do it, it just makes sense to grab both these quests since we're down here anyway. But yeah, I'm trying to get Devin back into playing Ascension with me. simply because I think that would be fun for both of us, since this server's pretty much dead. We don't have to worry about people competing for resources, competing for um, quests, things of that nature. So, if I wanted to be a herbalist on this guy, it's not like I'm running around finding somebody going, "Oh, I'm going to pick all the peace bloom in this area." It's like, no, I'm the only one in the area trying to grab peace bloom, which is great. Now, hopefully, when this server goes live, people will swap back over to it, and the server picks up. And so that we have the option of doing a lot of dungeons. We have the option of doing, mythics and raids and all that fun stuff. Okay. I also really hope that they keep adding new dungeons to the game. I think that would be really cool. The two new dungeons that they added are phenomenal. The bosses are unique enough that they don't feel like anything I've done personally in retail. Granted, I pretty much stopped right after Legion. I did go back for Dragonflight, but that was about it. Um, so like I haven't really gotten into a lot of the dungeons that are new. So I don't know if these are just reskins of other bosses from um, other expansions, or if they're straight up new, but they feel new to me, and they're just phenomenal. Ooh, somebody's actually out here. We might find another player. What is he? He's a Knight of Zeroth. Let's just resummon him, because I have no idea where he disappeared to. I like how PvP is now turned off. It was randomly turned on for everybody, and there was, like, no way of getting rid of it. I got you, Knight. Don't worry, bud. The Knight of Zeroth can hit like an absolute truck. But my problem with it is just how slow they actually swing. Like, to me, they feel like they swing incredibly slow. You take that one. I'll get the one in the back. See? He knows the deal. He went for the battle plan first. I went and got the axe first. Then we just swap. Because they'll respawn at the same time. It'll be nice when I can summon more than one summon. Because then I could have like an archer helping me do range damage, or I could throw another tank out there to do melee damage. Then you can grab the battle plan, and I'm going to come in here and turn this one in. There's level 9. We need 4 more canvas scraps. We actually got pretty bad drop rate on that. Usually by the time I make it through this little valley here, I have gotten all 8. But for whatever reason today, we got terrible drop rate. So we'll walk outside. There are a few other centaurs that are out here. This will be a real test of our abilities here. Can we take out all 3 of these guys? Oh yeah, we got this, no problem. Two more. We're going to go hunt down the other 2. Because we want to complete this quest so that when we go back to Razor Hill, all we got to do is turn it in instead of having to run out to do a different quest to finish it. He was mean and didn't drop any. Seven, one more. Let's try the archer just for giggles for now. And let's see how well the archer works. We don't need... Oh, what does this do? Focus attack. Oh, okay. So yeah, that can stay there. Aw. The archer looks pathetic compared to the warrior. The warrior at least has armor on. Looks pretty good. And then we'll switch from tank to DPS mode. Oh, this guy does my normal run. Drop rates are not going good today. Okay, 4 more of those. Yeah, I don't think the archer is all that good. I feel like he's barely doing damage compared to what the warrior was doing. Look, since you're taking out the Makura, I'm gonna go along the beach here and take out all the crawlers. Now, usually what I do is what he was doing is swim through the water because you can find 4 of the Makuras, or whatever they're called, and easily do those while shooting the ones that are close enough to the beach line for the crawlers. And usually you can complete it relatively quickly by doing that. Because, like, even Black Arrow does less damage than I'm doing. Alright, there's 1 of 4. There is 1 egg right there that we can get, and then there's, like, 3 cats here on this island that we can try and get too. Or 2 cats, one of the 2. That was interesting. Also, there's nothing on this island. Hello? That might be bad. Okay, good. I didn't see the cat over here either, and I was going to be like, if the islands are not spawning what they're supposed to be spawning, there might be an issue. 1 of 4. I know another spot where we can get the little clacker dudes that we need. So I'm not too worried about it. Here's our second egg. Here's one of the clackers that we can fight. Then there was one right here behind us. There's actually 2 over this way. There's one here, and then there's one just a little bit further south of us. He didn't drop one. Hello? He's supposed to be like right here. Am I at the right island? Oh, I'm not. Okay. That's why I was like, where is he? We need to go further northeast. That island there is where I thought we were next to. Because there's like a clacker there and a clacker there. And they spawn at a regular interval, so it's easy to take them down. We're also going to get our last egg. And then we need, what, 3 more of the pelts. So, World Forged item here. Archer just does not seem to be worth it. So we're going to switch back over and then go to tank mode. We took that guy down so much faster. All right. Now we just need the kitty cats. And there's plenty of kitty cats along the edge of this island where we're going to find all of the trolls that we need. Just hit an hour and we're almost level 10. So we're a little behind where the Pyromancer was. Pyromancer hit 10 in exactly 1 hour. Okay. Somebody came through and just wiped out this area. Holy cow. I'll bet you it's that Knight of Zaroth. Yeah, look at this. The whole area is just gone. Oh, still starting to respawn, so that's good. Let's run up this hill real fast. Oh, he aggroed. We'll help him. There we go. And then let's grab this. Yeah, whoever took them out, they took them out relatively a while ago. If they respawned right as we got to them. But still, I mean, that is good timing for us. Because we just completed basically half that quest in one spot. So now we just need hex trolls. Hopefully they're back up over in their normal little area. Because there's a lot of hex trolls over in this other area. Then we just need one more cat to drop a fur on our way back to town. And we are 100% going to hit level 10 at that point. We probably could have hit 10 had we not run up to Razor Hill first and then ran all the way back down. But that's fine. 4 more. Really? You could have lived, Voodoo Troll. You could have lived. Two more Hex Trolls are going to be these ones right here. There we go. Now we just need the one more kitty cat, and we're done. And I think that's the first time we've ever gotten below half mana. Hello, kitties. Did someone come and wipe all of you out, too? Okay, let's run this way. There should be another cat out this way somewheres. Like, I see it on the mini-map. There he is. Problem with doing the dots is sometimes you'll be like, oh, it says they're right here, but they're actually not. Come on, please give me a fur. No, of course not. That would have been too simple. Boom. All right, there it is. And now we are headed off to go turn in all of this. We're definitely going to hit 10 on that. So we get to pick our spec. I'm thinking we go Summoner this time. The last time I played a Necromancer, we went Rhyme, which is the cold spec. Now, I will say, cold did a ton of damage. It was the first time we got our Necromancer to do over like 1k crits. Granted, he wasn't very geared, but it was the first time we did a spell where we hit something and it was like, oh, there's 1,000 damage. Before that, it was like we were consistently doing like 7 to 850, or 700 to 850 damage. So it was, or not 1k, sorry, 10k. And then our average hits were around 700 to 850, with normal crits being anywhere between like 2 to 3k. But Rhyme was the first time we had ever hit in a 10k crit, so that was pretty awesome. But I'm going to go Summoner this time, because I think it will be easier for us as a Summoner. Well, we will see. We shall see. And 92. There's level 10. So there is death. Spread foul plagues upon your enemies, wither them over time, and rot your foes with devastating diseases. You get Lich Frost and Quip Swarm now applies Crypt Plague. Deals 4 plague damage every 3 seconds for 10 seconds, stacking 15 times. So that can be a devastating amount of damage if it's the same target. So bosses are great to hit with that. Transforms the enemies to a ghoul, fearing them for 40 seconds, 8 seconds if it's a player. Plague of Undeath. Disease an enemy, dealing 48 shadow damage every 2.5 seconds for 20 seconds. If Plague of Undeath is dispelled, the enemy takes 50 shadow damage and is stunned for 4 seconds. You've got animation. This is the way we're going to go with it. Increases the duration of Crypt Swarm by 1 second, increases its tick rate by 25%, and causes it to slow enemies' movement speed by 30%, which is nice. Unholy Frenzy. It's a 1.5 minute cooldown. Enrage your undead minions for 15 seconds, increasing their haste by 25% and movement speed by 50%. Animate Zombie, 25 runic power. 1.39 second cast time. Animate a lesser zombie to aid you in combat for 10 seconds. And then Rhyme. Your frost damage dealt now has a 20% chance to apply Death Chill to your target, dealing an additional 8 frost damage. We get the Grave Mage, which I think is really cool. Raise a Grave Mage to aid you in combat, occupying 1 life force. Their attacks chain up to 3 total targets, so it's AoE. Command your Grave Mage to deal 41 frost damage to enemies within 6 yards of the target and freeze them for 8 seconds. Damage dealt may break the effect. And then Ice Barrage. Blast an enemy for 63 frost damage, granting you a stack of Glacial Shift. Glacial Shift increases the cost of Ice Barrage by 3 and the damage by 3% for 5 seconds, stacking 8 times. At 2 or more stacks, Ice Barrage cleaves up to 3 enemies. So this is a AoE, just as much AoE damage as you can. Plus you get the really cool Lich form. So we're going to go with animation for now. We're going to see how that plays out. Level 15, you may now cast command spells while channeling Crypt Swarm. Nice. And we also got Unholy Frenzy. So that is a buff. We're going to put that right there. This now is supposed to be a little bit better than Lich Frost. We're going to keep Lich Frost, but it's supposed to be a little bit better. Stay away from the voodoo. Okay. Let's see, 71, 80. Now, if you're not going to do the Shinies quest, which I still recommend that you do all the quests that you can, like, you could just take the cart if it's there and go back up to town and just start doing those quests, and you'd still be okay. Because you could still do Shinies, technically, when you come back out this way to do the area here. I just like grabbing the stupid things because they're on the way to town to turn everything else in. Hey, hey. There's a level 13 Rune Master. Looks like they're going ranged. We actually had fun with the Rune Master, if I remember correctly. It was one of the last classes we played before we went to Bronzebeard. The thing with the Rune Master is you have to use one skill to build up your runes, and then you can use another skill to blast the enemy based on the runes that you have. Your skill that uses runes changes dependent on what runes. So, like, if I have a fire rune on and then I use it, it will only do, fire damage or whatever. But if I get all 3 of my runes, the frost rune, fire rune, and arcane rune up, then it does like a huge big explosion and it does all 3 damage types or whatever. It was fun. They are looking for one heal or support heal for a mythic plus. So it looks like healers are still the not so used characters here on this server. And that's partly because healing in this version of the game is a little more tricky. Because most of the healers are either damage healers, just meaning that you have to do damage in order to heal, or they are dual resource healers. So like rage and mana. So it takes some getting used to on those. Okay, so now not only do we get to turn all this in, but we can now pick up the next set of quests for us. There he is. I was like, may your blades never dull. And now we can run up here and we can grab that guy's quest. Now, I always follow the exact same pattern. The other two quests he has are the dungeon quests, by the way. I follow the exact same pattern every time. And the reason for that is because I feel, and I could be completely wrong on this, but I feel like it is the most efficient way to get these quests done. I'm not going to go turn in this one until I go do the shinies portion of it. I'll just turn it in at the same time. But the pattern that I do is, and I'll show you, I just want to get up here so I can start this. This is the stay a while quest here. And then while he talks, so what I normally do is I will run down here, complete this area, run back up over here, complete all of this, to then come into town to turn all that in. This is actually a new quest over here. So what we'll do is we'll run down here, do this, run up over here, do this, come in, turn all that in, run over here and do this, because that's two quests. We'll turn in those two quests, and then do the normal harpies and all that stuff. Yeah, I decided I've heard enough of you, bud. And then while we're outside of town, we will fill up this for that quest. Okay. I think that's everything. That's a quest item that I can move. Now, let's say you didn't do what we did, where we went out and grabbed the last of them, of the cloths while we were doing the centaurs down here. You could come here, and these guys are basically 100% drop rate for those. Oh, we hit 10. We need to sacrifice undead. Scourge apprentice training increases our life force by 1. So now we can have a second summon. So we're going to do another skeleton. Undead pacify. Call of the Scourge. Bring a dead ally back to health. Transfer life. So we can actually sacrifice a little bit of our life to heal these guys up. And then we don't get anything else until we're level 13. And we're also out of money again. Okay, so this we don't need on our bar. Sacrifice Undead, we're not going to use. Transfer life. Okay, they're both full health. And pop our shield. Only that, we're already almost level 11. Oh. People be already on their BS this morning. You're supposed to be protecting me, summons. Do your duty. Die for your master. Let's see here. There we go. Take aggro. I have 2 different schools of magic, my friend. I'm confused. Is your head tiny or the headphones really large? Huh? I mean, they're over-the-ear headphones. Because I don't like headphones that press on my ears. So they either have to be headphones that go in my ear or they have to be over-the-ear headphones. There we go. Level 11. Okay. Now we have the spell Animate Zombie. Ooh, why did that... Oh, that got rid of Lich Frost. Interesting. That's a glitch. It should not let me put points into... Because that's a level 15. It should not let you put a point in that, so... They're still looking for that healer. Okay. And then we get to drop down here, mount up, and run. Because now that quest is done. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna change my pattern. We're gonna finish this quest, which we just did. Then we're gonna run up here and we're gonna grab. There's a quest right outside of it, and then we're gonna go in here and do both quests here. Then we'll run over here, and then that way we come in and turn everything in, and then start the Shinies quest line. That is what we shall do. I think I did a good job picking this green armor for our build, because the fetid shield matches the little green orbs. I think that's pretty dope. Okay. Question is, how many of those little zombies can I spawn? Right? Because I know it says that they help for 10 seconds. But if I just continuously cast that, will I get more? Let's find out. Oh, yeah. Now I'm up to 2 zombies. Got it. Okay. So it takes longer to cast. It costs more mana, I think. Oh, no, it costs runic energy. That's what it is. So as long as I have full runic power, I can sit here and summon essentially an entire army of these things. Boom. Okay. You. Run back up this way and grab this one. The beauty is it looks like we're the only ones in here right now, so we're not having to compete with anyone taking out the Meridons or the sorcerers. Or sorceresses, actually. Four out of 5. This is the last Myrmidon, or Myrmidon, that we need. We just need one more sorceress, too. And then the big guy down here at the bottom. Not even close. Two, 3, 4. So at max stacks, I can get 4 zombies out in combat temporarily. Okay, good to know. Here's my last sorceress. There we go. Done with both of those quests. So now we can run out of the dungeon, or out of this cavern, or whatever you want to call it, turn those in. Come on, we can do it. We'll turn this quest in. Then we're going to mount up and run. Mount up. And run. So now we are going to do this little area here. Run up and do this little area here. I mean, I guess we could go do Fizzle. Yeah. We'll just do as much as we can so that we can turn in everything in one go. Let's see, thirsty peon serve. Yeah, we'll just do what we can and then turn it all in one go. I think that'll be the best bet. Ooh. These guys have a little bit more health than the Naga we were just fighting. Get out more zombies. So we've seen one other player so far. And that has been that Knight of Zerath. So that's a little interesting, but it just goes to show when I tell you guys that this server has relatively died. It's interesting, you know. This server gets all the same upgrades as the other servers get. The biggest difference is that they have promised to release this server since basically the beginning of this year. And every time they have gone, okay, it's going to be in this quarter, like it started off at they were like late first quarter, and then that showed up and nothing. And they pushed it back, and they were like, oh, it's going to be late second quarter. And we were like, oh, okay, cool. And then second quarter came and went, and we got updated. It's going to be, late third quarter, early fourth quarter, we should be good. And I haven't personally heard anything on whether or not this is going to happen at the beginning of the year or what, but it doesn't seem... Ooh, this is an elite. Usually this guy is really tough, and look how fast we're taking this guy down. Bye, bud. There we go. But, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I really hope that this comes out soon to the live server, because it will garner way more attention. We will get way more people into the server. Things will pick back up. But as it is, I mean, like we saw just the other day, on Discord, they were posting in that they needed people to log in so they could test some stuff. And it's like, I get that you need people to test some stuff, but I think I saw 3 messages over the span of like an hour asking people to do it. I don't know if they ever did. I haven't seen a video for it yet, but it's like, I would really, really like for this server to go live so that we could get more people interested in it, get more people wanting to play on the server, because these are very unique classes. I love all of them. All 21 classes are great, even though I suck at most of them. When it comes to the melee stuff, I'm terrible. That's why I'm sticking to casters right now. unless you guys ask me to do a melee character. But it's you know, I really want this server to do well. And the problem that I feel we're running into right now is the fact that not enough people are interested in the server anymore because they've promised things to happen and then nothing's happened. So hopefully it gets better. Whew! One of my skeletons died, but that's alright. Do I got any food on me? No, we got a potion, that's fine. Okay. Because all we're going to do is mount up and run out of here. I'm not really going to stop and try and take any of these guys on. The only one that I will fight is if we happen to run into the rare. Because there is a rare one that spawns. Like that guy right there. That's the rare. Where's my summons? Here they go. Whew, that was close. You're good.
The heater does have a smell.
Yeah. Yeah. Getting yeeted off the stairs was not.
Put away wet smell.
Yep. Yeah, it was not overly good. Jeez, this elite's actually doing some serious damage. Oh, one of our skeletal warriors died, but that's okay, because this guy's done. And he took out both of them. Alright, here we go. Off to do the alligator quest so that we can go turn all this in. Jump, jump, jump. Definitely hit level 12. Get close to hitting 13 when we turn all this stuff in, which will be nice. Now, sometimes I get this on 1, and sometimes I have to do, like, 10. And we got lucky enough to get it on 1 that time. We have so much stuff in our inventory. Holy cow, we need to empty it. Okay, on our way to go turn this in, there is a World Forged item here, and then there's one right outside of her hut. We're going to pick both of those up. As we run back to town to turn things in, we will turn in Shinies first to get the Harpies quest. Then we'll turn everything into town, because there will be one more quest to the south that we got to do. And then outside of that, we are done with everything southern of us. It will be all northern quests after that. Because we'll have one quest where we got to go run over here and grab some tools. Then we come back to town and we're done with anything below Razor Hill. Everything else is going to be much further north of Razor Hill. We're almost to the Barrens, which is crazy. Oh, we got both. Nice. Okay. Oh, we forgot to go grab that axe. Hold on. There is a axe right over here. This is where you come if you're doing wood crafting. You come over here to do your lumber mill stuff. Yeah, we're already almost level 12 just with that. Let's see. It says we need 221 XP. That's 137. So if this guy gives us the same amount, we'll hit 12. Oh, he only gave us 57. The heck? There we go. Level 12. Let's go turn everything in now. Let's see here. Boom. All right. We have Ghoulify. Don't really care about that. We do have Grave Mage. We could click this to get Grave Mages instead of Warriors. Or run like one Warrior, one Grave Mage. I don't like the fact that they don't basically despawn when I'm mounted. Because that means they'll stop and fight anything we run through or that aggroes us. We could put them on passive so that they don't. Okay. We want to go Shinies turn in. We're going to collect her next quest. We're going to also pick up this World Forged item. Mount back up. We're going to run up there. Ooh. We're going to run back up there so we can turn in carry your weight. We do have the bottle here. So this right here will allow us to finish the drinking quest right here for the thirsty peons. Pacify. And then we literally just fall down here. Boom. And then you just click on 5 of these guys that are in here and you just go, hey, bud. Have a drink of water. Have a drink of water. And you just do this 5 times. There we go. Quest is done. And there we go. What's crazy is the Pyromancer, he got to play for 4 hours. And we got into a group with someone doing Mana Storms. So that's why our Pyromancer got into like level 30, I think. So his level progression was a little odd, but that's perfectly fine. So encroachment, Admiral's orders, that takes us into Orgrimmar now. From the wreckage. Conscript of the Horde, I think is both the. I think this and this are literally the same thing. And then we need to sell our inventory. One seven, 1717. Here's level 12? No, 13. So we're going to come right over here. There's a vendor. We're going to sell everything. We're going to use our book. Get all the new spells that we can. Okay. Bam. 1 gold. Oop, that was not what I wanted to do. Dang it. And there we go. Now we're up to 2 gold. Cryptstorm increases. Foul Mandate. Empowers an ally with dark power, increasing stamina by 8 for 2 minutes. We're going to put that down here, because we can actually have both buffs running at the same time. At level 18, we get another life force. So, 5 more levels. And then we would be able to have 3 summons. Let's see here. So we could go with the Grave Mage. Increases intellect and max mana. That's always a good one. Increases maximum health and maximum health of your summons. So that's definitely a good one for us. I think when we get closer to 18, we'll pop a point into here so that we can have 2 tanks and a Grave Mage. But for now, we want our minions and us to have more health, and then we will also pick up more intellect and maximum mana. Then over here, command animates. Instant command your active animates to perform a unique attack. Refer to individual animates for their command effects. So this basically makes it to where if I have 1 archer and 1 warrior, I don't have to click each one of these. I just click one and it does both, right? We have animate putrid thralls. 40 runic power, animate 2 putrid thralls to aid you in combat. 20-second cooldown, that's pretty dope. Teaches raise ghoul and command ghouls. Raise a ghoul to aid you in occupies 1 life force. Damage dealt by the ghouls restores 7 health to us, so that's nice. Let's see here. We're going to go with the 2 thralls first. Then we'll grab up raise ghoul. And then we will come over here and grab this. So let's see. We're 13. So 14 will go here, I believe. 15 will come over here. And we will grab this. 16. We'll grab this here. That puts us at 17, right? So we'll grab this. 18 will grab this. Because then we'll have 3 summons and we would be able to have 1 tank, 1 ghoul, and 1 frost mage helping us. But yeah. If I remember correctly, even numbers are here, odd numbers are here. So we're 13, so 14 will be over here, actually. So 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, yeah, so we did it right. Boom, boom, boom. And then we come up and over. And then the other one is just over here. Right? Yeah. There is 2 world forged items out here. I don't really feel like going and getting them. I believe there's one in this boat in the back, and then there's one way over there, which is an agility sword. So, just bear that in mind if you are looking to hunt down all of the world forged items. There's even one in this cart here. There's 3 relatively close nearby, so we're now in the process of making plenty of money to keep our spells up. We're not worrying about professions, so we're pretty good there. Our goal now is just to level as quickly as possible. We've got 40 minutes left before I have to get off for the day. All right, so now... Oh, we still haven't visited an inn. Holy cow. I thought we already did that part, but apparently we did not. Good thing we haven't tried to hearth. That would have been terrible. Because if we had hearthed, it would have taken us all the way to the Valley of Trials. So we'll do this. We'll go ahead and turn in from the wreckage while we're here. May your blades never dull. Okay. Go. 7, 8, 8. Okay, no other quests there. Good. So now what we do is we come up here and we're going to do the harpies. Because then we go turn those in. Then we come up here and we do 2 more harpies quests. And we do here and then we're done. Okay, and then we can put these guys back on aggressive. Yeah, archers just don't seem to be where it's at. Which is kind of a bummer, because if I remember correctly, the archers actually packed a wallop back in the day. And what do we get at 15 that it says I can actually put a point into? Command spells while channeling. Pacify. I don't need y'all fighting stuff. There is a world forged item over here. I'm just gonna go grab it real quick. It says I'm in combat. I gotta wait for combat to come off. There we go. This is good for anybody that uses guns. Yeah. Oh, I was playing Warzone with my friend Devin and his wife yesterday, or last night rather. And it got to be about like 11:30, and I was like, "Hey, how many games are we gonna keep playing?" They were like, "All right, we'll do one more," because we had gotten like a top 5 and a third, I believe. And I was like, all right, let's just do one more, see how we fare on that. Got a first place. Victory on the last game last night. It was awesome. And I got it with a snipe to the head. Took out 3 guys. We took out I mean, it was crazy. Like, I'll be honest, halfway through, I didn't think we were gonna make it because we all got dropped relatively early. Had to do the gulag, got through the gulag, and then after that, we just really came together, booked it real good, and then right at the end, sadly, we were taking some people out on a hill. Um, Devin and his wife got dropped, so it was just me. Ended up taking out the guy that took them out, and then took out two more guys who were trying to flank me towards the last circle, and then the last guy had been taking pot shots at me and it broke my armor a couple times. Luckily, I had plenty of armor plates on me. And then as soon as I got the other two guys down that were trying to flank me, I thought they were going to be part of the same squad, but they weren't. It was a completely different squad. Another guy that was taking the pot shots at me, he starts running for the circle. I hid behind a rock, and as he ran between a guardrail and a signpost, I just happened to be able to drop him with a one shot because I had broken his armor, and he apparently did not have any more armor pieces. And so yeah, dropped him, got the win for the night. It was awesome. So that was a lot of fun last night. We'll see if we can capture that again tonight and get us another dub. I have thought about streaming some Warzone just for giggles. I'm terrible at shooting games, to be perfectly honest with you. The fact that we got that win last night is crazy to me. But I've thought about putting up some Warzone just to see how it goes. But it's also kind of not my cup of tea. But if my friends enjoy it and you guys enjoy us being complete and utter noobs, we'll see. We'll see. I'll talk to them about it and see if that's something that they'd be okay with. Me streaming while we play together. All right. Let's see here. Boom. This guy has 2 quests for us. We got to pick up some satchels, and then his next one is to take out some harpies. And then we come over and talk to this guy, and he makes us go into a cave and take out some other people. This is the part where getting to 15 is going to feel a little bit slower. Just because you have to take out some harpies here in order to get to the satchels. So it slows you down a little bit. Again, thankfully, we're not having to compete against anyone else trying to do this quest right now. So it's relatively easy for us to just come in, grab the satchels, take out what we need to take out harpy-wise, and then turn them in. The other downside for XP-wise is the fact that there's not a whole lot of quests over here to do at the same time. So technically what we could have done was grab the Queen's Decree, because we could take out the Dustwind Pillagers and the Dustwind Harpies and be okay. At the same time as getting the satchels. But my fear for that, though, is one requires you to run all the way back to Razor Hill, where the other one just requires you to run over here. So for me, it's just simpler to do the satchel quest second. You can get satchels over where the other harpies are. I feel like it's easier to just grab these 5 and run back, and then run over here to do these. This is probably the most annoying back and forth that you have to do quest-wise for the Horde, in my opinion. Okay. Now we just gotta go over here, take out a bunch of harpies. Securing the lines. We need 12 savages and 8 storm witches. And we still need to try this. I want to see what these putrid thralls look like. I think they're the big guys, aren't they? Like patches, kind of big dudes. It says that it's used to reroll mystic. Used to reroll enchants on your items. I don't know. Maybe certain items already have enchants on them? And that's what you need the orbs for here? I don't know. It's weird. Nope, nope. They're just zombies. Regular old zombies. I can see why now there is a slow effect for Crypt Swarm. There's 4. Five. I would attack the other one that's up there, but no real reason to. Yeah, we get way more summons than the last time we played the Necromancer. Now, granted, some of them are temporary summons, but still. Even with temporary summons, it's still more than we had last time. There we go. We just need one more of the yellow guys. Last one right there. Yes, I know that there's a World Forged item over there, but since we don't need to clear out the whole rest of this, I'm not going for it. It is a really good staff for any spellcaster. As long as you're not a healer. If you're doing any kind of damage, it's a great staff for you because it will add damage. It has a chance of doing extra damage for you by shooting off like a bolt of lightning, if I remember correctly. It's nature damage. All right, so now we just got to go turn this in and then go do the last quest for all of Duratar, and then we're done. I wish we were closer to 14, though. That would be nice. Let's see. I do want to see something. That guy on the duos got us up 272. And just to reiterate, he was playing a Reaper. We started playing with him while he was level 34, and he was clearing content very quickly. And we were on the Pyromancer. So we weren't really helping a whole lot. I mean, we were doing some damage, but not really enough to be like, we're amazing. I don't know what spec he was running. We should have looked. But that should tell you how powerful some of these classes are. That, like, the last time we did Mana Storms by ourselves, we struggle busted quite a bit. So they're all 240. Because like our solo is 46, and we started running into issues at 46, right? Our best trio, I don't remember how I got this, but we only got up to 6. That may have been when I was playing with my brother and sister-in-law back when I got them to get the game, and we did a Mana Storm, and I think we only got up to 6, and then we were like, okay, we're done. We gotta go. But that duo, we got up to 72. The highest I've ever gotten in a anything higher than 3-man is 38. And usually what happens with that is you get into a 10 or 15-man leveling Mana Storm, and they start off at 1 because they're like, we're going to get as much XP as we can. So you go in, level 1, blitz through as high as you can. The problem is a lot of people will join when they're like 56, 57, 58, and they'll go until they hit 60, and then they drop out. Or people are like, I'll do, 5, 6 runs, and then they drop out. What I really would love to do is, especially if this goes live, or I should say when it goes live, is I would love nothing more than to get to the point where I get like a 5-man or 10-man group together, and we go in there as if it's a raid, and we're like, we're gonna go until everybody just dies. And we would run it like a real raid. So we would have, if we're doing a 5-man group or a 10-man group, we would run it respectively. So a 5-man group would be 1 tank, 1 heal, 3 DPS, whereas a 10-man group would be 2 tanks, 2 heals, and 6 DPS. And then that way, if a tank drops, we have an extra tank. If a healer drops, we have the extra healer. You know what I mean? And then with 6 DPS, you shouldn't have to worry about ads. You shouldn't have to worry about, really anything outside of that. I think that would be the best way to run it. And I bet you could, in theory, get to a whole bunch. 300 on a Tinker? Nice, Swift. That's awesome. Ooh, I thought that gave me one. We still needed a one more. $14. Okay, then we're gonna grab this one. That gives us more int and more mana. Not that we're having a mana issue at the moment, but having more int means more damage. Mana means more just ability to throw spells. We're also 14, so once we turn this in, y'all go passive. Once we turn this in, we will use the book to level up. But 300, that's awesome, man. I think part of the problem is I haven't done solo Mana Storms in a good long while because I've been too focused on trying to level up different different classes at the time. And so once we find the class that I really just feel, hey, this is the one that I want to work on, I'll bet we could go into Mana Storms and really focus on gear, focus on rotations, making sure everything is good to go, and then I'll bet. Ooh, I keep forgetting you have to wait for him to get the next quest. It's not automatic. I bet we could get up there on solos. I just think it would be more fun with a team, and then trying to get to that 1,000 mark. I feel like that would be a lot of fun if you could get a 5 or a 10-man team together that was solid, and the whole goal is to get to 1,000 as the challenge. I think that would be pretty fun to do. Are you running a melee tinker, or are you running ranged heals? What kind of tinker did you do? Okay. We're going to run in. We're going to turn in all of these quests so that we can start the Barons. There's a level 60 Guardian. Here's where we might actually start running into more players. There's a level 60 Sun Cleric right there. I might be wrong. There might not be anybody here. Call boards. Okay. Mech suit, so that's melee, right? Using the mech suit? Because if I remember correctly, that's the shotgun with melee damage and the minion that you can summon as a tinkerer. From the last time I played a tinker, at least that's what that was. Boom, boom. Turn in this one to grab the next quest. Then we need to go underground. Mid-range? Yeah. I'll eventually get back to that class to see how I like it. But I'm wanting to stay spellcaster, so I'm not really sure. They changed it a lot, yeah. That's the thing I've noticed in the time that we've been away from COA, is that a lot of the classes that we had built seem to be vastly different than they were when we last played them. So that's kind of why I've come back. That's kind of why I'm going through and trying to figure out what I want to main again. So we'll see. I'm wanting to stick to spellcasting though. So far the most fun that I've had has been the Stormbringer. That class just absolutely dominated. I guarantee you we would have hit 20 probably in the 2 hours that we played it had we gone Horde instead of Alliance with it. Especially once you hit 11 and you get I forget the name of the spell, but there was a skill that we got where it's a channeled ability, but it allows you to throw one of your lightning spells while channeling. And as soon as we got that, I mean, it was just constant damage. And we had an absolute blast doing it, so. Instead of the big shredder mech suit, it's a spider tank now. Jeez. Yeah, that is way different, because the shredder mech, you had like a missile attack, if I remember correctly, and then no, it was a saw blade and a like fist pound skill with the shredder mech suit. So you could throw the blade and it would go out and just bounce back and forth. And then you had one where it pounded the ground and did AoE damage that way. So that's crazy that it's a spider tank. Okay. Got 15 more minutes, guys. I'm going to try to finish at least the... actually, no. We won't do that. We'll do the last piece, because that just requires us to run, grab a crystal, run back to this one chick, talk to her, and do that. And then we will hearth back to Razor Hill so that we can keep this guy at the inn. And that will be the end of the Necromancer. Tomorrow's stream, we will probably be on the Sun Cleric, I think is the next in line, if I remember correctly. And we will see how Sun Cleric ranged DPS works for us. No, Cultist is next. Cultist is the next ranged caster for us, because it's Necromancer, then Cultist. They really should do it in alphabetical order, I think, for the classes. I feel like that would make more sense. But look at that. Got to 14. Pyromancer, again, had 4 hours versus basically 2.5. So it also got to do Mana Storms, so it leveled a lot higher. The Stormbringer was ally. I think we got to 12 or 13 with the Stormbringer. And it only got to go for exactly 2 hours. And then I had to dip out for work. So it's just one of those things where, you know, the Horde has arguably leveled faster. It just has. And it's primarily because there's not a lot of, I need to go 5 miles over here to do like 3 quests, and then run another 15 miles over this way to do another 3 quests, and then come back over here to do like 2 quests, and then run way down. You know what I mean? The Horde is like, hey, you pick up a bunch of quests, and then you can come do this whole section here and complete like 5 things, and then you can run down here and do this section and complete another 5 things. It's crazy. Like, this part is probably the most amount of running that you have to do that isn't able to do a bunch of quests in between. So, like, I'm going to come talk to this guy. We're going to grab that. I'm going to go ahead and just try and do both quests simultaneously. Because why not? I'm going to grab his quest. Because he goes, hey, go to the crossroads. And then as we run up this way, we can grab the crystal for her other quest while we run to go up the mountain to fight all that stuff and blow up a ritual. What's fun is if you actually do the entirety of the quest line for this guy, the Necromancer, or not the Necromancer, the Warlock that gave us the quest to come out here. You do that, and then you go get a quest from Thrall called Enemies Within, if I remember correctly. And he's like, hey, I need you to go track down, like, I need you to go do a thing for me. You go into this, the cave where we went and got the medallions to begin with, and you get it's like a letter or you get a rune or something. You take it back to Thrall, and he's looking at it and he goes, "Oh, hey, the warlock who's been working for me this whole time is actually working for the Burning Blade and trying to take down the Horde." You go and talk to the guy, and he's like, "Yeah, what are you gonna do about it?" Ha 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 ha. And then it leads you into doing Ragefire Chasm and actually taking him out because he's the boss that's all the way in the back, who summons a demon. So. Okay. Let's go up this hill because there's no raptors here. You're supposed to run around this hill, go to the backside, and take the actual path up. That takes time. This is the cheap way to do it. You just run up this part. And look, hey, we're already on the backside. Because there's like an actual path, if I remember correctly, to get up here that it wants you to take. And I don't think I've ever actually done that. So, alright, we go aggressive. Or tank mode. Oh, that's a lot. Yeah, go Necromancer. Okay, we'll take out this guy. Oh, one of my skeletons got taken out. There we go. I got all 2. And my skeleton warrior's about to bite the dust. There we go. That quest is now done. Okay, so far, Necromancer is really good as a solo. As a spellcaster. Just like any build that gets tankable pets. The fact that we can get these warriors to just tank the damage for us while we sit back and just do mass damage to them with our one current spell that does quite a bit of damage is actually really good. So now what we want to do is we want to run all the way back, turn that in, and then run up and do her quest. And then that will probably be a little over the amount of time I have allotted for this today. I wish we could keep going. I would love to get this guy up to like 20 before I switch to a different one, just because 20 would be an easier number to be like, okay, I think I've figured out the build. You know, like at 15, we get, while we're channeling Crypt Swarm, we can use our command spells, which is great. At 15, we were going to pick up Rise Ghoul. At 16, we were going to pick up Grave Mage. Or no, that was what we were picking up at 18. So at 16, we would grab Putrid Summoner so that our stuff does more threat while it's in tank mode. At 17, we'd probably grab animate. 18, we would come over here and grab grave mage. And then at 18, because we get the ability to have 3 summons, we would have 1 tank, 1 grave mage, and 1 ghoul. Ghoul gives us health. The mage does cleave damage and slows, and this guy tanks it. So I think that would be a good kind of mix. If we're not taking a lot of damage, then we would run 2 grave mages, 2 grave mages and a tank. If our tank is dropping too fast, then we would run 2 tanks and a grave mage, that kind of thing. If I can figure out a way to make it to where I can see their health bars better, we'd be able to click transfer life when they're getting below half to prop them back up a little bit. But it is what it is. Okay. You. And we're going to turn this quest in. There's our first blue box, by the way. For a second, I thought it said that we had a skill point. I was like, we didn't level up, though. This will level us to 15. This quest right here should level us to 15, and we will be golden at that point. But yeah, tomorrow evening, because my schedule tomorrow, I have to open at work. So we won't be doing a morning stream. We will be doing an evening stream tomorrow. We will do the cultist for the 2.5 hours, and see how well he does. We are probably going to just stick to the horde for this part, while we figure out what spellcaster we want to do. If there is a spellcaster that you just go, hey, I would love to see you level this to 60, let me know, and we will stick to that one until it hits 60, and then we will change. Me personally, if it was up to me right this minute, we would be doing the, there's level 15. We'll go ahead and click that, and we're going to go ahead and grab Raise Ghoul. So now that we have that and Command Ghoul, let's dismount here. I want to run 1 and 1 for now just to see. Let's use our book here. Spotlight, Glacial Tap. Those were the only 2 spells that we ended up getting at 14, so that's fine. So let's see. We have Glacial Tap. Tap into necrotic energies, regenerating 30 runic power. So that can go down here, I suppose. Let's buff up before this fight. And then the other skill that we got was called Spell Blight. Interrupts spell casting and prevents any spell in that school from being cast for 5 seconds. I'm going to just put that down here. All right. Talk to you. Put these on tank mode. And then we're going to pop that. Pop you. Get out some more summons. There we go. And she left. Technically, she doesn't leave. She actually turns invisible and is untargetable. And she's kind of like over inside this tree thing. Because she glitched once. And it showed her fly up. But her health bar was over here. And I was able to still attempt to attack her. So, not sure. But let's go ahead and run to Crossroads, just because I want to make sure that we set that as our end, because if we ever come back to the Necromancer to finish leveling him, this is where we would want to start, is Crossroads. But yeah, so hit level 15, not bad in 2.5 hours worth of play. I wish it was just a tad bit faster, but we did we did do a little bit of goof up on our quest rotation. Had we most likely what would have happened if we skipped the break a few eggs quest, which doesn't really give us a whole lot of XP. Had we not run up here or taken the cart to get up here first and then taken the cart to get back down, saving that amount of time, we could have just gone straight into Sinjin Village, completed all of what we could here, then take the cart or collect the shinies, come up here, and then just skip the break a few eggs quest. And then that would have just allowed us to go ahead and run down here, grab these, run up here, grab that, turn both of those in, or 3 of those in, because that's a total of, actually, that's a total of 4 quests there. Then run over here, grab the spanners that we needed, turn that in, then come over and do all of this corner. Like, it would have been probably just a tad bit faster, but we would have lost essentially 1 quest line by not being able to do break a few eggs, because I wouldn't want to grab break a few eggs then run all the way back down here. That's a lot of running for no reason. So yeah, that probably would have made it level a tiny bit faster even with skipping that 1 quest. But I like the way I do it, because it allows us to get that extra quest and complete everything all in one go. The beautiful thing is if you actually if you're running in a party, what you can do, if you're not worried about getting a mount that early on, is you have one person come down here to Sinjin Village, start collecting the quests here, and one person runs up here to break a few eggs. Don't put your hearth here. You break a few eggs and grab the carry your weight quest. Then you hearth back to the Valley of Trials and then book it to Sinjin Village. And you just share those 2 quests with the other people in your party. And here is the crossroads where we will be stopping this quest. So we went from level 1 to level 15 with, once we turn this in, there we go. So we turn that in, and it gives us level 15 with 40% of the way through on that. / And it says, we have been playing this character for 2 hours, 34 minutes, and 54 seconds. So that is absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, I feel like this guy has done a really good job. Like I said, tomorrow we're going to be trying the cultist spellcaster. So if you are interested in the cultist, make sure you tune in tomorrow. If you're not subscribed to the channel, 86% of the people who watch this channel, it's between 83 and 86% right now, fluctuates a little bit, are not subscribed to the channel. Please make sure you subscribe. It lets me know that I'm doing a good job, and it notifies you when I go live, which is every day, so that you can see what's going on and be able to tune in and be part of the content, guys. Also, you can follow me over on Twitch as well, because I stream to both platforms every time I stream, so you're more than welcome to check me out on both of those. Outside of that, guys, I will catch you in tomorrow's stream. It will start around 7 p.m. tomorrow. Wait, no, tomorrow is Sunday. Hold up. It'll be 8 p.m. when we start tomorrow. That gives me enough time to get home and relax and eat and all that stuff before the stream. So, it'll be 8 p.m. tomorrow evening on Sunday. So if you're interested in checking out the cultist, make sure you tune in tomorrow at 8 p.m. But I will catch you guys tomorrow. Be safe. I hope everyone is having a blessed day and a blessed holiday. But we will catch you next time. Stay legendary out there, heroes. Peace out.